This is the magicwordpodcast.com.
Day 3 is about to begin, and before we kick off, I thought it'd be kind of interesting to speak with a person who's been stage manager at Abbott's for going on 40 years, and I got with him right now. We're actually staying in the same house together, so we see each other all the time. It's like, how come we haven't talked yet? Okay, well, now's a good time. Well, it's still the quiet of the morning before things break out in so much frenzy, but it is controlled chaos backstage, the way that he puts this together. Here he is, Mark Holstein. Hey there, Mark.
Hey, Scott, how you doing?
I am fantastic. Always good to see you every year. And I know you don't get to see a lot of the convention because you're seeing it from a different aspect.
That's absolutely right. I always tell people we see a different show than the rest of the convention. Yeah. And we spend a lot of time backstage. I have a fantastic crew, have had for years. And they
Same group, pretty much.
Pretty much. And they work way harder than I have any right to expect. And as a result, the shows always go well.
Yeah, they do. Well, and you get someone like Mike Miller who's going to be putting all this together then as well, the top talent with somebody who's a top stage manager, putting them all together with lighting and everything. It comes together beautifully.
Well, thanks for saying that. Yeah, first of all, I agree with you about Mike. My view is Mike is the best producer in magic, bar none. And the way that he's able to attract talent to come to this little town is really a small miracle. And he and I are great friends. You know, we work on this together. And as I say, I have a great crew, and we turn that modest gymnasium into a theater.
It is pretty amazing about that's magic in itself, of course, of making something that where the kids are playing basketball and dodgeball or whatever throughout the rest of the year, all of a sudden it becomes a Las Vegas stage.
Yeah, well, we've learned over the years a few tricks to make that happen, and we bring in the lighting and the sound and the curtains. None of that's there the rest of the year,
right?
And we come in on Wednesday morning and we hang it all and get it all going, and the acts seem pretty happy with it.
Is all of the equipment stored somewhere here in Colon, or does someone bring it in?
It's a mix. So the soft stuff, the curtains and so forth, are stay here at Abbott's. The lighting we hire, and that comes in from a town in Indiana. And then Brian LeBeau, my sound man, actually brings all the sound equipment and sets it up.
And is that his full-time profession as a sound man, or does he just kind of have that as a hobby and is a magician?
Yeah, it's the latter. So he works for a manufacturing company. That's his business, although he's about to retire, I think. Yeah. And then, he does this on the side. He was David Seabock's stage manager for many, many years. So Brian's very experienced. He knows what he's doing, and makes it a pleasure to work with him.
Well, talking about Mike Miller, I was having dinner with him last night, and I was complimenting him again about just what amazing talent that he had. And of course, Wednesday night shows, I should say opening shows with a lot of conventions, sometimes tend to be a little bit weaker, and they get stronger where you save your best for last because there are people who haven't arrived at the convention yet, and you want people to really have a good experience, and it just continues to grow. And it started with Lance Burton and Friends, and that is usually one that you finish with. And he said, as good as Lance is, it's just going to keep getting stronger every night.
Yeah, I know that.
He said, he said, no, nothing against Lance.
No, that's absolutely right, and I'm sure Lance wouldn't mind us saying that. Yeah. What a thrill. I mean, to open a convention with one of the top Las Vegas headliners in our lifetime. And they sure delivered. It was a great show. They have fun doing it. I think this is sort of Lance's retirement gig, and, he really enjoys doing it. It's clear. For me, it's just a thrill because they're all friends, and it's great to spend the day with them. I said the other day to someone that, 30 years ago we saw Lance at the Hacienda, and we were so blown away. And to think that 30 years later I'd be calling his show and designing his lighting and doing all of that, it's a real thrill.
Yeah, it's got to be almost surrealistic,
Yeah, except that Lance is so down to earth, so part of the community that, it's just family.
Yeah, he's just glad to be here, and certainly you can tell that even if he wasn't doing something, he would be here, and he does.
And he does, yeah.
And that's the thing, that this brings in a lot of people who are professional, talented magicians who just come to hang out. They would be here whether or not.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, a great example this year is Hobson. Hobson was just going to come. And then, they recruited him to do a lecture. And then when they had the acts dropping out for Thursday night, he jumped right in to help. But otherwise he'd be just as happy to be here and just hanging out with his friends.
I thought it was kind of cool. Joel Hodgson, who just was here with his son, and he introduced me to his son. And I'm thinking, last year I believe it was, he gave a joint lecture with Matt King. I mean, he's a star in his own right, and Absolutely. He's just hanging out. Yeah,
he came backstage to say hello. I love Joel. He's a great guy, and I agree. I think this is home. Once you've been here and you've become part of this Abbott's community, it's home for the rest of your life.
Well, I'm concerned about our lives because...
What are you saying, Scott?
Well,
I'm old, but not that old.
Not that old, no. But Mike Miller, again, was saying about how... I said, how much longer are you going to do this? And he said, Mark and I have a pact. When I'm gone, he's gone. And so you're not sure who's going to blink first, I guess.
Look, Mike and I are both committed to the Bordners and making sure this event is a success. And it's true. We have a pact. There have been efforts by others to try to weasel into what the Bordners are doing here. And, I won't comment on that. But, Mike and I would never do this for someone else. We're committed to Abbott's. We're committed to the Bordners. And whenever they decide they're going to stop doing it, we're going to stop doing it. But the idea of the pact is that if either one of us decides it's no longer right to do it, the other one the same.
And I would imagine that all the guys who are working on your staff, Steve Chesney and everybody else, would probably feel the same way. It's like, I'm in as long as Mark is here.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't asked them. And look, they'll make their own decisions. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe some of them would want to continue if there's something else going on in town. But I know that, when Greg and Debbie decide they've done enough of these, then I will have too.
Yeah. when they're done, you're done.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Exactly.
Well, and this is the 87th year.
87, yeah.
And I was, when I was looking at the talent earlier, it's one of those things that you think, okay, they're going out with a big bang. And I thought, this must be it, certainly. But then whenever I was registering for the convention, or rather I was picking up my name of registration badge, it said, do you want to register for next year? And I said, there's going to be a next year? They said, absolutely, sign on the line. So they've got plans.
They absolutely plan to do next year. I would say this to your listeners. First of all, nothing lasts forever. As you know, we just saw the Winter Carnival take a bow and close its doors. I do know that we have some very big surprises planned for next year. So can't quite talk about them yet, but if you have any inclination to get your way to the magic capital of the world, you should do it. I promise it'll be a fantastic event.
Yeah, and there's a reason why it's called the Magic Capital, certainly. There are so many different things that are happening, one of which yesterday the Lakeside Cemetery was designated by the state as being a historic area, or they erected a monument there. So. Exactly. I was heartbroken not to be able to come over. That event was right in the middle of our rehearsal. And that broken lawn for Gordon Miller.
Yeah, and Gordon was such a great friend. He one of the first people I got close to here when I started coming and hanging around backstage, and wonderful magician, wonderful performer.
Mm-hmm. He always opened Wednesday nights.
Every Wednesday night was his night, and he started the tradition with the banners. In fact, first year I was here, part of his opening shtick involved a flash pot, and he got out of sync and he was standing right over the flash pot when it went off, and it burned his leg pretty severely. Yeah, he was fine ultimately, but over the years, spent so much time with Gordon and really, really loved him. So his passing was very sad, and normally I would have been at the cemetery, but as I say, the show comes first. The year Hank Morehouse died, his son asked me to come and host his memorial in White Pigeon, and I said, sorry, buddy, but that's right in the middle of our rehearsal, and if I left rehearsal to do that, Hank would haunt me for the rest of my life.
Hank knows where the priority should be.
Absolutely. Yeah. He would have expected me to do what I did.
I was there. They named a street after him, as I recall.
They did, exactly, and I would have been honored to be the host of that and speak on Hank's behalf, but he never would have allowed that.
That was one of those times. I was thinking yesterday whenever they had erected that or put up the sign, and there was a governor's agent who was talking about this. And I was thinking about that very thing. And for those who might be interested, I don't remember what year that was that they would have established that, but I actually went to White Pigeon, and there were several of us who did, and I recorded the conversation, the dedication, I should say. That, so if you want to go back and listen to that, you can.
Yeah, no, that's right. That was around 2010 or 2011. I should know that date, but that's when it was. Yeah.
Well, again, this has been a great convention. It continues to be. We're right in the middle of everything. It seems like weather-wise, we've had a little bit of everything except snow, I think, so far.
Yeah, when we arrived, it was Texas hot, wasn't it?
It was Texas hot.
Yeah, but now the weather's turned to more typical Midwestern cool temperatures, which we certainly appreciate. It's nice.
Yeah. As I wake up, it's like 60 degrees right now.
Love it. Yeah. It could be this way all the time. But
this is the way. Yeah, this is perfect weather. So if any of you who are listening to this and are thinking about coming over, let's say you're in the Chicago area, now's the time to come. There's a lot to go on.
We've got two fantastic. First of all, we've got Jeff Hobson lecturing today, then the All-Star Close-Up Show. But tonight's show is going to be fantastic. It's we refer to it backstage as the old guys show, but this is going to be a real look back, some historic magic. Dale Salwak is going to do his classic manipulation act. David Charvet is going to be channeling Harry Blackstone, which will be exciting. Tom Ewing is doing some wonderful things. This is going to be a really fantastic show.
Right.
And then tomorrow night we've got Dan Sperry, who is not only doing dove work. He won't be doing the doves here, but he's doing some of his comedy. And anyone who's seen that knows that he's really become a fantastic comedy magician. And then Greg Fruin is bringing Big Illusions from Niagara Falls. So,
and John Chirac.
And John Chirac, thanks for the reminder. So, going to be just an absolutely great show.
Yeah, and also tomorrow, Dan Sperry is going to be giving his birthday party children's lecture.
Well, if you were in the room when I announced that the other day, people laughed. They thought I was kidding. But I've known Dan since he was a teenager. And, in fact, he spent a lot of time at our house in Illinois. We became very close to Dan, and he supported himself doing kid shows. And then when he went to Las Vegas, he discovered that none of the Vegas acts wanted to do kid shows. So he had all the work he wanted. So Dan is a real expert on kid shows, notwithstanding his stage persona. And he knows how to relate to kids with his character, and he will have a lot of really important information to share.
I can guarantee that because when I was at the Magic at the Beach in Myrtle Beach last year, he was a featured performer and lecturer. And I remember when they were talking about he's going to be giving a kid show lecture, I really thought they were just being sarcastic. And then when I listened to it, it's, oh my gosh, the guy's he's the real deal. But it does have his own twist.
Of course.
Like with gummy worms and things, that he uses instead of real worms. And anyhow, it's just a great lecture.
It's contemporary. Dan is a very smart magician. He thinks about what he does. His character is well developed. He's really a thinker. And so he brings that to the kid show world. And he understands what contemporary kid audiences will enjoy. The stuff that, our contemporaries, yours and mine, Scott, the stuff they did for kids, that doesn't play anymore. Kids are exposed to a different level of media, and Dan understands that and brings it to bear.
Funny you mentioned that. I was just talking with a good friend of mine, a mutual friend of ours, who was had been on Magic for a while. He's wanting to get back, and he said, well, maybe I'll start with birthday party. He said, I've still got a square circle, and I got stratosphere, and a couple of things like that. Crystal silk cylinder, and he said, I can still do birthday parties. And I said, not with that equipment.
Or at least not with the presentations he did. The equipment might be fine, but he'll have to rethink it. Yeah, absolutely. So if your friend is here, he should come to Dan's lecture because he'll get a sense of what modern kid audiences will enjoy.
Well, Mark, always good talking with you. Thank you so very, very much on behalf of everybody. We really do thank you because you make things again seem so seamless on the stage, and the way that it moves from one thing to another without any kinds of delays and whatnot, or if there is, it's invisible. And the lighting cues and everything, everybody and sound. I mean, you got a great crew, and so thank you very much for what you do. I appreciate it.
It's absolutely a pleasure and an honor to be part of this event, and I have lifelong friends that I've made backstage, and so it's absolutely a pleasure to do it. And you're right, the crew gets all the credit. They do the hard work.
Yeah. So for the Magic Word Podcast, that was Mark Holstein. This is Scotty out. One of the people that really makes this convention tick, we just talked with Mark Holstein, who certainly is one who makes it tick, but it couldn't come together if we didn't have music. And Wilma Wrench used to be the person who would be the one playing the organ and keeping things moving along, and she has passed the keys, so to speak, over to another keyboard artist, and I mean artist in the truest sense of the word. The man is absolutely incredible. He's a past national president of the Society of American Magicians, in fact. Please welcome my friend and yours, John Sturk. Hey, John.
Hey, Scotty. How are you?
I am great now that I'm here with you. You're doing such a great job again this year. It's so much fun.
Well, thanks. So Wilma played the organ here for years and years and years, and she retired around 2011 or 12. Mm-hmm. And then there were a couple years where we had no live music, and everybody complained and said, "Oh, we missed the live music." And I looked around and I said, well, clearly nobody else is going to do it. Mm-hmm. I guess I'm going to have to. So I said, Greg, I could play the organ. Let me give it a shot. And it's been 10 years now that I've been playing the organ. And This year is my 20th at Abbott's, which is amazing because I don't look a day over 23.
I was going to say, since you were an infant, right?
But it's just really hitting me this year, 2 decades, which is about half my life that I've been coming here to Abbott's.
When I was talking with Al Leone, he said that he and Jeff had made a pact years ago that they were going to go to the next 25 consecutive get-togethers together, and they did, and they've gone another 25 and beyond since then.
Yeah.
So it goes by pretty quick.
It really does.
Because this is something that everybody really looks forward to, certainly. And as far as the playlist that you put together, is it the same thing every year, or do you spend a lot of time, or do you kind of improvise once you get here?
So for the first few years, I decided I didn't want to play all the same songs that Wilma played, except for No Business Like Show Business, which is at the end of the overture. It's what starts the show, and everybody loves that one. And I also took one request from Greg Bordner to play Caravan, Duke Ellington's Caravan, because that's his favorite song. So those are the two I wanted to play, took requests for, and the rest of them I picked.
I Dream of Jeannie and all those.
Yeah, I played Bewitched.
Yeah, Bewitched.
Well, I don't like songs that have magic in the title. Mm-hmm. That's too easy. It's not. Sure. It's not subtle. So I thought, let's do something a little adjacent. So I do Bewitched instead, and then just some other jazz standards that I like Sweet Georgia Brown, or Take the A Train, and then I know there's a lot of Hoosiers here, a lot of people from Indiana. So I play Back Home Again in Indiana for those guys. And I'm just happy that people like it. And back in Chicago,
you're from Michigan originally, and so you probably came as a kid.
I'm born and raised in the Detroit area, and I went to school at Michigan State, or in my act I say Michigan State. And I came down here when I was a sophomore in college for my first Abbott's Close-Up Conference. Mm-hmm. And Hank Morehouse was still around then, and I won first place in the close-up contest in the spring, and he invited me to perform at the get-together that summer. So my first get-together in 2005, I was in the close-up show. Very intimidated, and I've been back ever since.
You say in the close-up show, not in the contest, but you were actually performing with the other professional close-up.
Yeah, here at the get-together.
Remember who else was with you?
John Chirac was here, Brian Newber, and Fukai.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that was, and me.
Pretty heavy. And I also know you have in the past coordinated the buskers.
So what happened there was in 2006, I was working the summer as a busker in northern Michigan in Mackinac City. You may have heard of Mackinac Island.
Yes.
This is Mackinac City on the mainland, where the Mackinac Bridge connects from the lower to the upper peninsula. Mackinac City is where you take the ferry to Mackinac Island.
Okay.
So I busked for a summer. Thanks again to Hank Morehouse, who got me that job. And so I came down to the get-together with all my busking gear and just decided to street perform for a little spending cash. And it sort of caught on. Mm-hmm. Chris Capehart was here that year. I did not know who Chris Capehart was. Mm-hmm. And we met. And
he was busking, too.
He was not busking here. but he was doing a lecture on busking. So I was front row at 11 a.m. for his lecture, and we became friends, and I count him as a teacher and a mentor for me. So then people really liked the busking. We wanted more of it, and they ended up starting a whole program sponsored by the Colon Chamber of Commerce to have buskers performing for the public. So that even folks who, just drove in from adjacent towns could see some magic.
I was just talking with Debbie Bordner this morning about that very thing, because they have $5 shows there for the public at Abbott's Magic Factory. And she was saying these are for people who are coming into town who are not registered for the convention, but they're just kind of tourists and looky-loos, and they heard there's a convention, and they thought they might see some magic somewhere.
They heard about Magic Festival,
right.
And maybe they don't want to be here in the evening because it's too late and they got to drive home,
right.
But they can come in the afternoon. They can see some magic somewhere in the magic capital of the world.
Right, and this way they can see it essentially for free or just for tips from the buskers.
Yeah. Magic for the people.
Magic for the people. That's right. People, right on. And I was going to say, in Chicago, you are also working doing improvisational in an improv comedy club.
I have many jobs. I'm running out of skills to monetize. So I have a day job. I have a 9 to 5. It's not very interesting, but that's the way I like it. Then I do play the piano for many of the improv theaters. Maybe you've heard of the Second City.
Of course.
That's one of the places that I work. The IO Theater, Comedy Sports, the Revival Theater, Annoyance Theater. And if you've ever seen the show Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Of course I have.
Laura Hall comes out to play the piano.
Yes.
That's what I do.
Yes, okay.
And I also started teaching about 2 years ago, teaching musical improv. So I could teach you how to make up a song like Wayne Brady. It'll take you a while to get as good as him, but I can teach you the steps. And right now I'm also understudying for the main stage at Second City as the piano player.
Wow. Could that be like a lucrative full-time job? Or
you know what? I am perfectly happy with performing as my side hustle. I gave it a go full-time, and I like it better. I loved magic and music a lot more when it wasn't paying the mortgage.
Right.
And so I like it this way.
And you were working at Fun Inc. for a long time.
Yeah, I worked at Fun Incorporated, America's largest magic manufacturer, for 7.5 years. That's what brought me to Chicago in the first place, and I worked there from 2007 to 2015. And these days, my day job is not in entertainment or magic at all. And I like having this bifurcation.
Sure.
I feel, if you're a Parks and Recreation fan, I'm Duke Silver, basically.
Okay.
My day job knows I do these things on the side, but I don't think they quite understand the extent. And then last year, I was approached by a piano bar in Chicago to produce a monthly magic show there. So we did that for a couple months, and then I decided not to renew the contract there. But I still wanted to do a show. So we're doing Magic Mondays on the third Monday of the month at the IO Theater. And it's been going really well so far. And we'll keep doing it until I get tired of it.
And one last thing, and then I'll let you go. And that has to do back with your responsibilities as the president of the SAM. What was exciting? Was there some place you visited or did or something that kind of stands out?
I tried to go to as many places as I could. And as a guy with a day job, and limited resources, but I went to PCAM. I think I saw you there.
I wasn't at the PCAM.
You in San Diego.
Never attended a PCAM.
That was my first PCAM. It was a terrific convention. I also made a special trip to New York City to see the Parent Assembly's PA1, our original SAM assembly.
At the Salute to Magic?
At their Salute to Magic. And so I got to do a stand and wave there. I didn't have to do a speech. They asked if I wanted to say something. I'm like, I'm perfectly happy with stand and wave. And while I was in New York, I went to an assembly meeting, went to a lecture with Avner the Eccentric, visited Tannins, visited Don't Blink Magic Shop, And I made a special pilgrimage out to the Machpelah Cemetery to visit Houdini's gravesite.
I have yet to do that myself.
We are the SAM continues to raise funds for the maintenance and preservation of Houdini's gravesite because he did so much to make the SAM the global organization that it is. And next year, we're going to be continuing our honoring of Houdini with holding our annual conference and 4th of July weekend in 2026 at Appleton, Wisconsin, Houdini's boyhood home. Mm-hmm. So that will be for the 100th anniversary of his death.
And let me ask also, as far as the maintenance of his gravesite,
mm-hmm.
I know that they've been trying to get that like a 501c3 or some sort of tax.
Yes.
So can you donate now that is going to be tax?
I believe you can donate now.
Okay.
We've only just recently finalized the paperwork for the nonprofit solely dedicated to the Houdini gravesite. And we're also doing a fundraising program with selling some custom artwork Houdini decks of cards.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's John Midgley.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So they're available now at HoudiniCards.com, and all the artwork is hand-drawn by my successor as national president, who who just finished his term. So now he is also a past president, John Midgley from Tennessee, mm-hmm. Who did all the artwork for the front and the back of all these cards. It's beautiful, and you can get your cards at HoudiniCards.com to support our gravesite project.
A lot of good information he just said there, folks. So go check out each of those places and register also for next year, because it is going to be pretty amazing. This is going to be, again, the 100th anniversary of Houdini's death all of next year. So.
That's right. We're going to be doing a whole year-long celebration of Houdini, his legacy in life and everything he did for the SAM especially. We're doing some really special things in Appleton that you will hear about over the next few months.
I plan on attending myself up there. That'll be great. John, thanks very much. I appreciate you being a friend and listener and everything that you do for our Magic community. It's been great.
My pleasure, Scotty. As a past correspondent for the Magic Word,
right.
I'm always happy to be here.
So the Magic Word Podcast, that was John Sturk. Scotty out. One of the performers who was in last evening's show on day 2, as I said, we're of course into day 3 right now, was someone who actually was kind of a last-minute fill-in when we didn't, when we were unable to bring in the guys from overseas due to some visa problems. But it's not just a fill-in. This guy has been here from time to time and is a perennial favorite when he performs, and he just did a tremendous job last night. And he's always comfortable on stage, just as we are comfortable giving him the applause he deserves. My friend and yours, Terry Evanswood. Terry, hello.
Abracadabra. Scott, how are you?
I'm fantastic, sir.
I was just thinking the last time we did this was exactly a year ago at the Legion.
And your dad was here. I remember talking
to your dad. And my dad is here again.
Yeah, and Bob with 1-0.
Bob with 1-0.
Yeah. That's how he introduced himself to
Yeah, he always says, I'm Bob with 1-0. I can't believe, where did a year go? A year just disappeared in a blink.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, I saw you, though, at Magic, at
Winter Carnival. Yeah, Winter Carnival.
Yeah.
But I can't believe how fast the years go.
And, well, you have opened up a new, your own theater.
Yes, well, that's probably where most of my year went.
Yeah.
We opened the new Evanswood Magic Theater on Christmas Day last year, and very excited and encouraged the way it's going. I'm really happy with the way the theater turned out. Attendance has been great.
It's fairly intimate. It was like 100 seats?
It's 80 seats.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. We were going for 100 seats initially. Unfortunately, I think the days of those big 500, 800,000, 1,200 seat theaters are gone. All the big theaters have been really struggling, and I think I got out of that scene just in time. In trying to have my own thing, we're going for 100 seats, but by the time we got through the fire department and the ADA, knocked us down to 80 seats. But you know what? It really is perfect. In fact, a great compliment came through on a TripAdvisor. A woman said she'd been seeing my show for years, seen me at many of these other venues. She said, but being in this venue, she said it felt like we were just a group of friends in Terry's living room having fun.
And last evening's show, I'm glad you just said that very thing. I felt like the same thing because there was that warmth of you your personality coming off the stage, like when Debbie came out and had on the yellow hood to begin with. First time she's ever been on stage, ever.
It was a very, very special.
And the others, who came out, Jeff Hobson and Richard Hughes and everybody, and the way that you were just interacting. I mean, I know it was scripted. However, you made it sound so natural, and I was thinking, is that really scripted or not? And
and speaking of Jeff Hobson, speaking of Jeff, so what we did is I had a kind of a just bullet points, an outline.
Okay.
Like when I met with Jeff, I told him, here's what we need to do. What are your thoughts? And then we kind of kicked around some ideas, and then let it loose on stage, where we knew the bullet points, so that the majority of it could be ad lib, just playing along. And he was so much fun to work with. Everybody. I'm really happy the premise being that because I was a last minute fill-in, that I had to fly up here. I don't have my people, I don't have my cast, I don't have my crew, I'm short costumes, and that everyone was jumping in to help. That was the premise of the act. And everybody did. Even Lance Burton chimed in, and
that was so funny. I
came out in the second half with a jacket that was clearly his from the night before.
It looked like it came down to your knees.
Yeah, it was a little big for me. So Lance, for those of you who weren't there, I'm coming out doing my opening speech for the end of the show, and Lance Burton is sneaking around behind me, kind of checking out this jacket.
And you didn't know he was there.
Apparently. And realizing that it's his jacket. The byplay was so cute. Of me having to sheepishly give up the jacket that I apparently stole out of his wardrobe the night before. And then there's Jeff Hobson.
Jeff.
But we had a good time.
It felt like that you were almost wanting to walk down the steps and greet every person and thank them for being there,
Thank you.
And so that's what I'm saying, that just your personality and warmth exuded so much, from that everybody loved you, and it worked.
I'll tell you, one of my only disappointments, and I keep kicking myself about it, one of my best friends in magic, Steve Chezaday, know Chezaday.
Yeah.
He's
been... You guys kind of grew up together.
Oh, we did, and that's true. We've worked together on shows here and all over the place, traveled together, we've helped each other on road shows. I was his assistant when he was in the competition as a young guy, and he the same for me. We've just been really close. So we had this, what we called a friendly rivalry.
Yeah.
And I established that at the beginning of the act when Steve brought the table out, so I could establish that we're friends, but we grew up in the same market, competing for the same shows. So it became kind of funny as an ongoing callback that Steve was helping me, and I made the comment, now he works for me.
Where you were splashing water, and he was coming and cleaning it up.
So I'm purposely splashing water for the sand trick, and Steve's got to run up Towel Boy and wipe up the water, and then 2 minutes there, I'm splashing more water. Oh, Steve, and he runs up. But the payoff was going to be, at the end, when I finish the trick and clear the water, and toss some of the water aside and call one last time, Steve, and he would come out and throw the towel in my face. And blackout, right? And that would kind of level the playing field. And speaking of, and I was, my mind was in a million directions, trying to remember all these lines and what was next, and who's doing what, and lighting cues and sound cues, and who's changing costumes. And I missed that, and I feel bad. Steve, if you're listening, I love you. I'm sorry. That was going to be your moment. That would have really just put the whole thing over the top.
Well, there was so much going on, and it was not part of your regular show. I mean, as far as the scripting of that and everything, it was so different than what you do. I mean, you've been doing The Sands of Egypt forever. I do it very well, but this was done differently from the standpoint of supposed to be kind of tongue-in-cheek and everybody, that it was a one-off that nobody will ever see again.
Richard Hughes jumped in. That was fun for The Sands of Egypt, And it was really fun interaction with everybody.
Well, I'm glad that you came and filled in at the last minute. I mean, you did just a yeoman's job, and I know everybody appreciated it, certainly. And I guess Mike Miller was the one who called you and said, hey, can you come?
Mike reached out, and then, here's how it started. I was just finishing my show in Pigeon Forge, cleaned up, changed my street clothes, went out to get my car, and I checked my text messages. And there's like 1 million missed texts from Adele.
Okay.
You got to call Mike Caven. Mike Caven's trying to get a hold of you. You got to call Mike Caven. Terry, where are you? Answer your phone. Call Mike Caven. So, and I have to admit, when I saw that Mike Caven was reaching out, I thought, well, this can only be one thing. And I thought, here we go. And I have to tell you the most amazing story. So, you have to understand, I was coming to Abbott's. My business partner, Ryan, who opened the theater with me, he had never been to Abbott's. So we had non-refundable airline tickets to fly up to come here. So I get the call through from Mike, and he says, they lost the 2 FISM acts. Is there any way, if I'm coming anyway, can I do 20, 25 minutes? And the problem was, as you can guess, I can't fly anything up. I mean, I can do a briefcase show,
right,
but that's what they already had. They needed some, drama stuff,
right,
and some
bigger thing.
Yeah. So I told Ryan, my manager, I said, I don't think I can help them in this situation because we can't drive anything up. And he said, listen to this. Unfortunately, his mother's in the hospital in Bristol, Tennessee. He said, tomorrow morning, I'm driving my van to Bristol to see my mother. Scott Price lives in Bristol and is driving to Abbott's. So he drove my stuff, transferred it to him. My stuff arrived in Colon, Michigan before I did, and we're just going to reverse it was like the timing it was meant to be. I'm glad it worked out well for all of us.
Wow. Well, for all of us, including the audience as well.
Thank you.
But again, Terry, thanks very much. Always good chatting with you.
Always good to see you. Appreciate you.
Good luck with the theater as well.
Come see us.
For the Magic Word Podcast, I was Terry Evanswood. Scotty out. The person who is responsible for the talent, not only here but a lot of other conventions, and that you probably have attended. If you enjoy magic, then you enjoy what this guy has put together. And he is a wonder worker in so many ways. Top producer. Actually, last year got a special merit from the Academy of Magical Arts.
Along with you.
Well, I was so joyful to get it along with you because I felt like it was so well deserved on your behalf, and you've done so much. Anyhow, I'm here with Mike Miller. Hello, Mike. Let me just shut up and let you talk for a minute.
Well, thanks. No, thanks. Yeah.
Good job here.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
It's been fun. Tonight's show, I want it to be a throwback to the old days of Abbott's.
I love that.
And that's what we want to do. And that's why originally I was going to have Dale open. Dale Salwick. And I said, nope, he's got to close.
Yeah.
And we made adjustments today. And they're like, why? I said, because he's a legend.
Yeah.
And he's going to get an instant standing ovation. And he did.
No, that's exactly right. So, that was kind of hearkening back to the old days, particularly starting then with Dave Charvet.
Yes.
Who is a classic in his own way.
Yep.
And everything that he does, and the types of stuff then that Mark D'Souza does.
Oh my God, he was on. He was on. His ring routine was so good. His lines were so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I sat and watched that in the back with you for a little bit over there because I wanted to see what the coins and everything looked like and the cash and everything that he would do, and it played.
It played, yeah. I had bad
well.
eyesight, so I really couldn't see too much. But and plus, I'm playing the games. I don't watch many shows.
Yeah, you book them, and then you kind of I've done the best I can. You're on your own. You brought the babies up, and now they're grown adults.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, and Mark's been like a brother mentor to me, so I'm glad he was here.
And you work you used to work at Smoke and Mirrors, and now you've been working over at the House of Magic.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah. I've been to I performed at Smoke and Mirrors 85 times.
Wow.
And so far 3 times at the House of Magic. So, and I'm there August 22nd and 23rd.
You do a full show, or
I'll be doing an hour and 10 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. A lot of audience participation.
Oh yeah. I do the Bird Act and then a lot of audience participation. Yeah.
And you're not traveling like you used to from the standpoint of, I think we talked about this before, when you used to put together the China tour.
No,
you stopped that a long time ago.
We stopped it, but I still help them with some acts for their Beijing festival. Every once in a while I'll help the Shanghai festival, and I'll be helping them next year a little bit. But yeah, mostly the Beijing festival and Magic Woods. It's a huge magic company in Beijing where it's like $30 million business.
Wow.
And they have a lot of theme shows going around and bars and things like that. And I've been helping them bring in some illusions. I had Greg Fruin build a bunch of illusions for a show they have over there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm helping them out a lot, too.
And I was talking with Mark Holstein this morning, and he was confirming what you had said from before to me privately about how that when you're done, he's done, and vice versa.
We're a team.
He said, yeah, I got a pack.
Yep.
He said, and that I don't know who's going to blink first, but you guys
Hopefully
are going to
him.
in it for a long time.
Yeah. As soon as he's done, I'm done, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So
I know it's hard, but still, you've got a lot of contacts, and you see a lot of acts, and people contact you all the time too. I'm sure.
I had a lot of people contact me here when I got here because they heard a few acts couldn't make it, and I made sure everything was under control before I got here.
Yeah.
With the help of Mike Caveney, who's incredible. Mike Caveney is a godsend, in my opinion. Yeah, he is a big help with a lot of these shows.
I'm sure that's true, that he probably just gets on the horn and says, hey, we're in a little bit of trouble right now, and can you come and do it? And they'll do it because they love him.
And he's going to try to get those guys that couldn't make it this year for next year, and hopefully we can get them here.
You said next year is really going to be a fun and surprising convention, too.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping.
But then how do you balance that with other conventions? Let's say like you're booking for the SAM and they're having the 100.
No, I'm not doing SAM.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's who is
Ice
it?
McDonald now.
Ice is doing that.
Yeah.
That's right.
This is the only one I do.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
Okay. So what about the one that's the one-day convention? That's
Super Sunday. I still do that. Yeah, I still do that in November.
But that is, let's scale back.
One or two performers, and the money that's made for that goes in to the SM Endowment Fund to help kids go to camp under Bob Little's, just a little help, it's called.
Let me back up for just a minute, because I would just happen to think about when you were saying a lot of people here are saying, hey, I'm here and I can do something. Do you then talk, like in this case, we were talking to Mike Caveney, and Mike said, really, I'm sure that's fine, but I think I can get somebody
we
to come
talked,
in.
and there was a couple names he brought up, and I made some phone calls real quick. I made a phone call to Adele, who got me in touch with Terry Evanswood.
Adele Reinders,
yep. And she got me in touch with Terry, and Terry called me, and I had him call Mike, and they talked it over, as well as who filled in there? Jeff Hobson.
Oh, that's right. Jeff.
We knew Jeff was coming, and so Mike contacted Jeff, and we went from there. And then I called Dan Sperry and said, hey, we need a lecture. I said, I heard your lecture's incredible.
Because he was already going to be here performing.
Yep. And he goes, 100%, I'm in for you, whatever you guys need. So all those guys that stepped up and helped, I went out and bought them a bottle of wine out of my own money.
How nice.
And said, you know what, this is just a thank you. I appreciate what you do.
Because they're going above and beyond.
Yes, way above and beyond.
It just shows the brotherhood and how much the people are committed and they love magic, and also this family of Abbott's.
Right, and they were last minute add-ons that had no clue. They were just coming to attend.
Sure.
And they just said, we'll do anything for Abbott's. We'll do anything for the Borners and Abbott's. So, yes.
That's one of the things, too, about this convention, unlike many others, where people just come and hang out who are, quote, magic celebrities, just because they love the atmosphere here, or they had gone to the, like Kevin James or whomever just shows up, Fonzerari. It's like, I'm not working, but hey,
I had
love
a friend, George G., who works the SAM convention as the stage manager and all. I asked him if he wanted to come because I needed someone to drive with me. He just stepped right up, and he helped drive. We drove like 12 hours here, and he's been a big help here as well. So, yeah. Yep. So, I'm glad it's over. We got one more show, and it's going to be a killer show tomorrow night.
That's amazing. Who's on? I know we got John Chirac, and we've got
Greg Fruin, Alexandra, and Dan Sperry.
I was talking with Greg at the American Legion Hall the other night, and he was talking about Alexandra maybe taking over his theater there in Niagara Falls.
Yep.
And he said, I'm kind of hoping that she actually gets her own show in Vegas, because there are no female illusionists.
Right.
I mean, you've got some ladies who are doing magic, but no one who's really doing like the Melinda stuff that she used to do, kind of a thing.
Right.
And Alexandra would be perfect.
She's
I think like in her 30s, so she's got a long
she's been
career
around,
ahead of her.
Yeah, she's been working with Greg for like 17 years, I think.
Yeah, when he said that, I thought she was much older than she is. He said no.
No, I think she's like 30-something.
Yeah.
And she has her own dance company, I think. So she'll be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
Her and the other assistant, John, who travels with Greg a lot, they'll be here tomorrow and do the show, and they're going back so she can do her show.
Is she going to be assisting him, or is she doing something
She's
on
doing
her
a
own
spot
too?
as well. She's going to be doing a spot as well, and she went very far on Britain's Got Talent. Britain's Got Talent. Yeah.
And didn't she fool Penn and Teller? I think with one
I think
of her
she
things?
did. Yep. It's a marketed effect, but she made it so much better and made it hers. That was impossible to detect.
It fooled me. I know the method, but it's like, well, no, she did something different.
No, totally
something happened.
Totally different. Yeah, and having Greg as a mentor is just icing on the cake. Yeah.
Well, he's been a mentor to a lot of people. Din Yang, I think, and some others. Who are Dove performers, worldwide.
I think he's one of the best illusion builders I've ever seen.
Really?
Have you ever seen any of his props?
I have seen his props. I didn't know he built them.
Oh, my God. He built them all. He built a production ship for a show I had in China where I had him build all the illusions.
Yeah.
And the ship is about 30 feet long.
Wow.
A dragon ship. And he built that, and it's just the most incredible thing. Yeah, he's one of the best builders I've ever met.
Wow. I think of him as a performer and not so much of as a builder. But
right? People ought to know if they're looking for illusions. Well, Bill Smith is great. Johnny Gong, Wellington. Yeah. Greg Fruin's up there with him.
I did not know that.
He's the best TIG welder, best welder you'll ever see.
I always think Ray Lum, as far as being like a fabricator.
Ray Lum even turned around and said, that's nice work. So, Greg is
something there.
Yeah, Greg is incredible welder. Yeah.
Well, Mike, thanks a lot. Thanks for your time. Thanks for all that you do for Magic. And
well, thank you.
Congratulations
you as well.
on a great. You're welcome. Good job here again with Abbott. So I'm looking forward to next year's Abbott. And if those who are listening can't be here for this convention this year, make sure that you come and register for next year.
And register.
Trust me. Yeah, and I know that you're not. Yeah, trust Mike, as I said, that you know it's going to be good.
There's going to be specials for registrations only.
And you can go to abbottsmagic.com, I believe.
I think it is, yeah.
And register for next year and get your early bird rate. Anyhow, for now, that was Mike Miller. Scotty out. This convention often is dedicated to someone who has been attending for years and years, and not just attending but performing years and years, and that was Harry Blackstone Jr., who is on the stage with his lovely wife and assistant, Gay Blackstone. Gay continues to attend year after year and is constantly honored. I feel like that every convention is dedicated to you, or if not, it should be. Here she is now, Gay Blackstone. Hello, Gay.
Hi there. And how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. Wasn't this a good show this evening?
This was a wonderful show.
Yeah.
In fact, all 3 shows so far have been terrific. I was just saying to someone, Lance Burton, who was on Wednesday night, it was like watching the old Lance. He was so comfortable, and he was having such a good time.
Yeah.
It was just, that part was terrific. Last night, even though there were people filling in on very short notice because of 2 of our performers who did not have the proper visas at this point to get in, and other people stepped up to the plate, and even I became an assistant.
That's right, you did.
I did, yes. That was it was something I didn't know I was doing the day before.
It looked like that you have done that all of your life, and when in reality, of course, you have. But the way that you were putting your foot forward and put on your toe, and the way that you were gesturing, it's like you haven't missed a beat.
And we had we actually had one rehearsal and 1 talk through, so it was about a 7-minute rehearsal.
Yeah.
And the thing I found so humorous, they said, well, we wanted you to do it because it had silks involved.
Oh.
And I suddenly said to them, I've never dealt with silks. Harry didn't do silks.
I don't remember him.
No, he didn't. No, we didn't do silks.
I remember him doing feathered flowers. But
yes, but no, this was all silks.
Yeah.
So it was, but it was great fun. It was absolutely great fun.
Yeah.
And the audience was very forgiving.
Well, the audience, I think, was very accepting because, again, this is kind of a family type of a thing. And so I felt like that Terry Evanswood was doing some things he wouldn't normally do in a show, but he felt comfortable just the same way, as you said, that others were, in which they were on stage, like with Lance in the past. And it's just like, hey, we're among friends, and if I drop something, not that they did, but I wouldn't feel bad if I did, because you'll be forgiving.
That's it. The whole thing is, it's very warm, it's very open.
Yeah, that's it.
It is very much a family. It's a community. And we are here in the village, and it's not only a village of this area, but it's the village of magic. So
what do you think makes that such a family kind of atmosphere?
That's the way it's always been.
Can it be replicated anywhere else? I've attended other conventions. I don't see anything like this.
Well, because this is not a regular convention.
Good point.
This is a get-together.
Yeah.
It's a safe place. Kids can walk down the street, or at midnight they can be outside of the American Legion sailing cards. You don't have to worry about, where are the kids? Where are they? Can I have to walk? No. You have teenagers that are just out and yet,
After midnight.
After midnight, doing magic.
Yeah.
We know exactly what they're doing.
Right.
They are doing magic or learning magic.
Yeah.
So it's a whole different world. It's like stepping back 75 years.
And I think this evening's show exemplified that, and that was what I was just talking with Mike Miller about, is what he wanted everybody here to kind of hearken to the old days, and finishing then with... we started with David Charvet and ending them with Dale Sowick.
Yes,
doing
the Gentleman of
Chevesco,
Magic,
The Gentleman
yes.
of Magic. I think it was Scott Hollingsworth, actually, who had given him that title.
Really?
At the Magic Island many years ago.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
But it is, because Dale does so many things so exquisitely, but they're things that you don't necessarily see every day.
Yeah.
But they have been the basis of magic for centuries. And you saw them done clean and beautifully and with music that was exquisite.
Right.
And the whole thing had just an elegant feeling to it.
Yeah.
And sometimes that doesn't happen anymore.
And when Craig Diamond started doing the plate spinning, and he was talking about Ed Sullivan, it's like, oh, I remember that as a kid, on black and white TV and watching plate spinning. It was so cool. I haven't seen that in years.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
And I saw the plates backstage. And I thought, those look like plates for plate spinning. And then I thought, this is a magic convention.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I think
anyone...
Robert Bax does that, I believe.
I think you may be right.
Yeah.
Yes. But it's just not something you typically see
No.
anywhere, much less at any convention was the plate spinning.
But he had a point in saying, okay, we're going to be in a time machine. And I kind of felt like that was kind of like what this evening was all about.
Yes, absolutely. And I think it was great for the younger people who were here.
Yeah.
They saw and experienced things that they don't normally experience.
That's true. That's true. And perhaps can carry on to the future, so this way that they have their own time capsule that they've created for themselves also.
Because in 50 years from now, they'll be saying, gee, remember when we were back there and, and these old people were doing this? I think it is very different.
Yeah.
And there's a gentleness that's here that
Yeah.
you don't always find.
Well...
And a difference in tempo, and not just of the shows,
Yeah.
but of life and the people around us.
I think part of the laid-back atmosphere is just that we don't have, like, we had just, you and I came from FISM, where there were 200 events back to back to back to back to back, and overlapping each other. Here, we have a couple of hours in between, so you can actually walk downtown, which is not that far, or go over in the dealer's room or do whatever else. And the point being is we have things that we can do in between without feeling as if, oh, I'm missing something.
Well, and yesterday, I spent an hour and a half on a boat ride.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, out on the lake.
How
and
nice.
it was so peaceful. And when that was finished and I got off, I felt so relaxed.
Yeah.
And it's like I had had a rest of 2 weeks of a vacation.
How nice.
Instead of just being an hour and a half out on the water.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was fabulous.
Well, yeah, this is going back in time. I know that Greg Bordner has often said this is, what would you say, Mayberry of magic or something?
Yeah.
Kind of
Yes.
going back the way that it used to be from way back when. So, yeah. Well, Gay, thanks very much, and also for all that you have contributed to magic and continue to do. We're going into what season for Masters of Illusion on TV?
I'm about to be shooting season 12.
12, okay.
On the CW.
On the CW, yes.
It's actually season 22 of the show, but season 12 on just the CW network,
Yeah.
which is phenomenal, exciting, and incredible.
Yeah, well, you are the epitome of longevity, because I was thinking about when you and Harry were on Broadway, because you said you had the longest-running magic
The longest
show.
running magic, we still do have the record for the longest running magic show in Broadway history, and we were at the Majestic, where then Phantom of the Opera came in, and the Majestic is the flagship of the Schubert organization.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. Well, listen, Gay, again, thanks very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you,
Thanks
Scott.
for all
Thanks
you've
for
done.
everything you do,
Well,
and your
you're
great
welcome.
podcast.
Well, thank you very much for the Magic Word Podcast. That was Gay Blackstone. This is Scotty out. One of the people who worked at Abbott's Magic Company for a long number of years, and has also been the MC for a number of years, not just here but also elsewhere, and has got a couple of books out. In fact, we'll talk about that. And it's my friend and yours, BJ Mallen. Hey, BJ.
Hey, Scott.
So your book, you have a book of poetry and also a children's book,
And so tell me a little bit about that. I think you just had a book signing recently?
Yeah, I did a book signing this afternoon at Fair and Hall Workshop. And yeah, I've got 2 books. My Unicorn Has Lost Its Horn is the picture book. It was actually illustrated by Carol Hendricks, Steve Cheseday's fiancée. And then No Poems on Sunday, Tricky Poems, Volume 1. That's the collection of poetry.
And those are some of the ones you've used on stage?
Yes, those are the poems I use a lot in my MC work.
Yeah. And did you say that you were inspired by your daughter, or sometimes you have written them for her? Or?
I've written them for a bunch of my kids, actually. But yeah, there was a couple that were specifically inspired by her.
Yeah.
This one in particular, a little grumpy bug. She has a little grumpy bug that's crawled up inside of her nose, and somehow or another that little bugger's controlling her down to her toes. It's making her snappy and making her sassy and making her pick on her brother. I have no idea where she caught the darn thing, but I'm Dad, so I say it's from Mother.
Do these come to you fairly quickly, or do you work on them and agonize and come back and kind of add something else or change them, or both?
It's a bit of both. You know, usually what happens, I've got you can see I've got right in my pocket.
Note cards in your pocket.
Yep, a field note. I'm always ready because I never know when a rhyme.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah, basically the muse might strike anywhere, and if I don't get it on paper at that point, it's kind of like a butterfly. It'll fly away, and I might not get it again. Sometimes the whole poem will come quickly. Sometimes it'll just be like a concept or a rhyme that pops into my head, and I get that down, and then I've got to kind of tease away at it. Most of the time, though, it works best when I get out of the way and just kind of let it come through me, if that makes sense.
Do you find that it's best to write it down as opposed to having like a dictaphone that you can record something?
I like writing it down myself.
Okay.
Yep. I don't, for whatever reason, I've never tried the voice. Well, I have used voice notes a couple of times for melodies, if I get like a jingle in my head or something. But for the most part, there's something about looking at the written word that I really like. Yeah.
And then it kind of re-inspires you when you go back and fine-tune it, I guess.
It does. And if you look at my notebooks, you'll see a bunch of scratched out stuff. I always write in ink, so everything gets scratched out, and there's little notes off to the side, and I don't know that I have any sort of final draft.
Now, your ability as a poet, does that go back to your childhood, or is it something you just got inspired by as you got older? Or
So I've always kind of had a knack for poetry. You know, in my teenage years, it was the dark and sorrowful emo
gothic thing.
Yeah, the emo stuff. I was one of those guys. Yep. But no, it's evolved throughout the years, and I don't know, it was about 11 years ago or so when the first one just kind of came out to me. For some reason, I was going through a particularly stressful event at that time, and it just seems like when I'm under stress, that's when the muse says, well, you could probably use a little rhyme here, so for whatever it's worth.
And then once you do, that kind of releases the stress, do you find?
In some way, it does. It's, it channels that energy into something creative.
Mm-hmm. And then you have taken that to the stage. Is that just something that just happened accidentally when you were killing time one time?
It really was. It was a happy accident. I've had these poems in my back pocket, if you will, and I was out there on the stage and did need some time to fill, so I started sharing them, and the response that they got was great. So I kept going, and it seems to have worked.
Well, it is perfect. I can't imagine anything really better because it is not a time killer, but a good time filler from the standpoint that I know that people are looking forward to that. Between the acts, it's like, okay, what's the next one going to be?
Yeah, and like the reason I've named my Volume 1 Tricky Poems, and by the way, I've called it Volume 1, that way it puts me on the hook for a Volume 2. But the reason I've named it Tricky Poems is because most of my poems have some sort of twist or some sort of unexpected element, and I find that it's kind of like a magic trick itself in that way, so people don't know what to expect, and they kind of do look forward to it. So,
have you got a new one that you're working on now?
Oh, there's always some that I'm teasing out there. Notebooks full of half-written things here and there. So yeah, there's probably about a dozen in the works.
And do you have a certain rhythm or pattern or something? I know, like limericks, for an example, will have the first 2 lines, the next 2 lines that rhyme, and then the last one that rhymes with the first 2 lines.
I don't have a set formula or structure.
What I mean.
Yep, but I do think that the rhythm is extremely important. So I try to be very conscious of the amount of syllables that I'm using and keep it consistent. Because they're meant to be said aloud. They're not meant to be just read to yourself. These are meant to be said aloud.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking also that I thought at first that you had written these like when you were a member of a band or something, But
no, I'm just a one-man band.
One-man band.
Yeah.
Have any bands come to you and said, "Hey, I like this particular poem. Could you write something for us?" Or I've got an idea. Or...
Well, I haven't been approached yet, but if anyone's listening, I'd be more than happy. As a matter of fact, I've got a few songs written, but I don't have the musical talent to compose the music for them.
I was about to ask you next. You don't play any instruments, I guess.
Well, I can play a ukulele a little bit, and I used to play guitar some, but but coordinating the whole singing and playing at the same time, that just sends my brain someplace else.
You can do one or the other.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's a mutually exclusive activity.
Artistic people are often that way. Yeah, that's true. And so do you do a lot of magic then as well in conjunction with this when you're doing like your magic shows, for the general public?
Oh, yes. When I'm doing magic shows for the general public, usually I use the poems kind of at the beginning as people are coming in. I just kind of helps to fill the time there at the beginning, gets people giggling and kind of in a better mood as they're finding their seats. And then throughout the show, if there's an appropriate moment for something, then one gets thrown in, yeah.
And since just changing subject back over here to this get-together, have you been having a great time, and what's been something that's been outstanding for you?
I've been having a wonderful time at this get-together. Let's see, I'm not sure right now off the top of my head any particular standout moments. It's just it's always great to see everybody again, it's all good.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, BJ. I appreciate your time. It's starting to get kind of coolish. Let's go inside the Legion and have a drink, warm up a little.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Thank you, Scott.
So the Magic Word Podcast. That was BJ Mallen. This is Scotty out. One of the things they do each year is to have buskers who are entertaining the general tourists, the public, people who come through who are not registered for the convention, and they also have shows over at the Abbott's Magic Company. But one of the people we talked to earlier was John Sturk, and he was telling us about how he puts together, or used to put together, all of the buskers, and they used to do this all around town. And when I say all around town, there was a grocery store that used to have hot dogs, and they had people who were even out there all over the place. But one of the ladies who's been working around for a long time at Abbott's, but not just here, she also busks at other fairs and Western festivals, et cetera, as my good friend and yours, Jania Taylor. Hello, Jania.
Hey, it's always good to be with you and Colin, Scott.
Magic lady.
That's right. That's me.
So you've been busking here for how many years?
I don't even know.
A lot.
I really don't know. I do it to help them out.
Sure.
And it's fun and pays a little bit towards my registration for next year.
Yeah.
And I get some beer money.
And you get some beer money, which is where we are right now at the American Legion Hall.
Right.
And so they remodeled a little bit. What do you think about the remodel?
Well, we can't judge it yet because it's not done.
Oh, is that? Oh, so we're in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give them that. I thought they were done. I thought,
they aren't done yet. So we have to, next year we can really judge them.
Okay, we'll be a judge then next year. So how many shows do you do a day?
Here?
Yeah, here.
I just do 2 for the week. So I busked at noon on Wednesday. I was the first opening busker act.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow I will busk at noon here, in front of the Legion.
In front of the Legion?
Yeah,
okay. And so tomorrow being Saturday, you probably have a lot more tourists who will be stopping by. I thought you had a pretty good crowd, though.
I had a great crowd
there.
for as hot as it was.
Oh, it was really unbearably hot. And you were standing right in the sun, too.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do. The performer's supposed to stand in the sun.
Let the audience be in the shade.
Right. And then there's a lake you can go jump in. That's the beauty of coming to the get-together.
Well,
and I did go jump in the lake.
Isn't that what you tell the kids sometimes?
Yeah, go jump. Well, yeah. That's the clean version.
So tell me about some of the other festivals that you work.
That I work, street performing there in Harbor Springs where I live every Thursday night.
Michigan.
Yeah, every Thursday night the Chamber hosts what they call street music from the end of June to the end of Labor Day. So I work every Thursday there, and all the kids know to seek me out. And actually, I just do balloon twisting there because actually it's a little bit easier, I think, because I don't have to work at gathering a crowd, and the kids come and find me and they seek me out, and I think the tips are better.
Now, when you do balloon twisting, do you have a balloon pump, or do you actually...
I have a pump. Oh, yeah.
Smart girl.
Yeah, I retired from blowing them up.
I was stupid when I first got started in doing balloons. I was working at a festival, and they hired me to do balloons. I blew up 2 gross of balloons by my mouth. And I was sitting on a little bar stool kind of a thing. Yeah, man, I had hemorrhoids the next day.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, not to get too descriptive, but it was not good.
Right.
You know, that wasn't smart. And that was before balloon pumps, I think. The only thing was, what was the guy's name, TJ, or the guy from Austin who made the balloon pump?
I have that one.
Yeah.
The big like
Yes.
big floor mount. It was like
Yes.
3 feet tall.
Yeah, he invented that
I
thing.
love that pump. That's what I use. And I found some balloon dog stickers last winter, and I put them all over. I put my Venmo on it, and people are
You
like,
find that Venmo works better now?
well, it doesn't work better, but a lot of people ask if you have it. And then, I dream big. I have my tip bucket's a 50-gallon bucket, but it's plastic, so if a kid knocks it over, so what?
Yeah.
And I put I put a QR code for Venmo on each side, and now I've learned that it needs to be on the lid because people come up and it'd be a lot easier just
sure.
on the lid.
Yeah.
So the things you learn. But I would really like to find, remember when we were kids, the big plastic piggy banks?
Sure.
That's what I'd really like to find, and I can't find them. I mean, I
On
can find
eBay
I
or
can't find
Amazon?
a ceramic one. Then it'd be like put a little sign on him. It's like "Feed me" or something. Or
Go to Etsy. Have you tried Etsy?
yeah, but isn't it only Etsy is
They make stuff. I mean, there
Yeah.
are people who design things, and so you say, I'm looking for something.
Right.
Maybe you might be able to find one.
because they used to always be like in all the
Sure.
the Kmart's or something in the
Toys R Us
spring.
or-
yeah,
yeah.
big plastic pig. Just to be something different.
That'd be different and fun. Yeah, kind of a thing.
but it has to be plastic, especially working the street.
I think if you had just a big plastic garbage can.
Right.
I mean, that way it's like, hey, I got room. Fill it up.
Or even like, I've seen like the big plastic bears, like the cheesy poofs come in. I've thought about buying one of those too and
Yeah.
using as my tip jar just for a little something
So
different.
aside from that, now I know you were a Chavez student, and this evening we saw Dale Sowick finish. with
I
that.
couldn't wait to get to Dale. Come on, let's just move along here so
were
we
really
can
looking
get
forward
to
to him.
Dale.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on, he's so smooth and his
Wasn't he?
zombies so wonderful, and it's always a reminder that I have to slow down when I do my back palms. Just slow down. You don't have to rush through them.
Right.
He's so smooth, and it was just great to see.
And you were
Dale.
one of the last students of Neil Foster?
No, I wasn't
No?
the last. I was the third woman under Neil.
Okay.
But there were a few classes after me. Because I took it in 80, 83.
And so you still do a lot of stuff?
Well, I love
From-
doing the Chavez Act, but vaudeville's dead.
Yeah.
And if
Except here.
my goal is if I can perform that act at least 3 times a year, I'm happy. So I have one down.
Yeah.
I have 2 more to go this year.
Okay.
And the year's half over.
Yeah, you got some time. I mean, you got holidays coming in. Christmas
Right.
should book you several.
Right.
Yeah.
Hopefully. But, it's a 10-minute act.
Do you ever
and-
see retirement in your future?
I don't know. I'll be schlepping an act till I'm 80 like Jay Marshall.
I don't know what retirement is. I can't imagine.
I mean, I could retire from other things like teaching ski lessons. I'm really pondering that one. I'm tired of standing in the snow.
Yeah, what about your knees?
It's not so much my knees, it's my hips.
Okay.
That,
At
but,
some age, it's kind of like, okay, I'm going to give this up for the younger people, and they can take it from here.
But the underlying agenda is I don't want to buy a pass. They give us a pass. That's part of your pay.
That's a good point. The passes are pretty expensive. Yeah. Even just if you're going to buy a day pass. It's better to buy
Right.
the season, obviously.
Right.
But,
So
yeah.
the vote's out if I'm going to do one more year. Because I ski more and more on the side of caution.
Yeah. Well,
I don't have the need for speed anymore.
Nope.
But
Yep.
I like the kids. I like my fellow instructors at Nubs Knob in Harbor Springs. That's where I teach. So we'll see.
How many slopes do they have there?
How many do we have? We have like 55?
You got to be kidding me. I didn't know it was that large.
And we have 400 foot of vertical. Ooh!
How many lifts?
How many lifts? We have 3 on the front. Let's see. Man, so we have 3 on the front. Probably 6 or 8 lifts. But the great thing about Nubs Knob is all the lifts go to the same spot.
Yeah.
And so if you're skiing different levels, you could ski a black, I could ski a blue, somebody could ski a green, we can all meet at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then go back up, and we can still all ski our choice, our level.
Right. Do you ever get out to Colorado or California to ski?
I've only skied Colorado once, and I've skied in Switzerland and out east.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm glad that you're here, and thank you for all that you do and entertaining the masses the way that you do, the hundreds or thousands of people that you do. I mentioned, by the way, real quick, and then I'll wrap this up, you doing a little busking for, what's the Frontier Territory, or what is the festival that you do? Have a different character. You're dressed like it's Annie Oakley or something.
Do you remember the busking contest?
Sure, last year, yeah.
No, the busking years ago. Here, it was years ago here to get together. They had a busking contest like 1 or 2 years. And I just happened to have that act in my car, and so I entered it. I think I took second. It was kind of fun. But the one in Ohio is called the Yankee Peddler. It's a reenactment festival, and welcome to Colon.
Yeah, really. Yeah. We saw some motorcycles go through while ago.
It's the time period is 1776 through the Civil War. Mm-hmm. So I have to perform in period costume. Oh. I'm the wandering magician. And it's kind of like busking because I wander the festival, gather a crowd. Mm-hmm. I don't have the stage. They let me perform when and where I want to.
So do they pay you or do you?
No, they pay me.
Okay. But you can also get tips?
No, they won't let me pass the hat because they do charge to go into the festival.
Okay.
So they want the public to spend with the vendors, the crafters.
Of course.
But I would really like to pass the hat because I get some big crowds there. Yeah. And it is like the oldest festival in Ohio. And this will be my 19th year.
Wow. Well, and what time do they do that? What time of
the
year?
It is every weekend for 3 weekends, starting the weekend after Labor Day in September. So it's 3 consecutive weekends in September after Labor Day.
And finally, this is, of course, the 87th year of this Abbott's get-together, and you really are a Camp Colon, almost a counselor. I think of you,
counselor.
Yeah, you've been around for such a long time and attending all of these. I think during COVID even, didn't you come down?
Oh, yeah, we came for Camp COVID.
Yeah.
Just got a cabin with a couple of the people that I always share a cottage with.
Yeah.
And it was just relaxing. We got together. We went to dinner. It was kind of nice. We didn't have to rush around and do a show.
But this is
fun. I'm the one that coined the phrase Camp Colon.
Oh, you are?
Uh-huh. Because it's like going to... You have to get your pillow and your towels. It's like going to adult camp, you know? That's like, I'm going to camp. I don't have to bring my sleeping bag, though.
Yeah. Well, some people do bring their sleeping bag whenever that they're actually going camping out in the tent or something.
Right.
So, yeah. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you do so much for Magic and the community. Thank you, Jania, for all that you do.
Well, thank you. It's always great to talk to you.
Good talking with you. And I look forward to seeing you again next year here, as we're going to be having one here for sure. So for the Magic Word Podcast, that was Jania Taylor. This is Scotty out. One of the people I always love seeing every year, and we started off actually talking on the first day with this guy's best friend, Al the Only, and he's going to be leaving tomorrow, and I was going to chat with him tomorrow, but he's got a gig back at Chicago Magic Lounge that is taking a lot of his time, and here he is right now, Jeff Bibik.
Yes, great to see you again, Scott. I can't believe we're here for another year. Number 53 for me. Can you believe that?
That was what Al was saying. You guys had a pact. You said we're going to be coming for the next 25 years.
No, Al had that pact. I had nothing to do with that. And all of a sudden it kept showing up, and there he was. 1 year, Al said, "Hey, baby, 25 years." I said, "Oh, really? Okay." And I said, "Let's do 25 more." I said, "Oh, yeah, okay." And I just kept showing up, and here we are.
Wow.
There was no real pact, actually.
That's like a full pack of cards.
In his mind, there was a pact. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true. I never thought of that. It's good.
Yeah, so there you go.
Uh-huh.
And so how long have you been working over the Chicago Magic Lounge?
Chicago Magic Lounge since they began. We started in 2016 as just a concept in a rented theater. And then in
that was at the burlesque place.
Yes, in 2018 we moved to our own space, and we've been there ever since, packing them in.
Do you go and work at the Castle sometimes, back to the W.C. Fields Bar?
I have been there 3 times now at the Castle, yes, indeed.
Have you been up for an award?
I was actually awarded, I'm glad you asked that, I was actually awarded from the Magic Castle Magician of the Moment. No, but I don't... Get a load of this. I was 3 moments in a row.
3 moments in a row?
I know, yeah.
Not everybody gets that.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a moment here or there, but not in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was like a different part of the program. They didn't broadcast that part of the show.
And by the way, did you ever happen to find another mini martini glass?
No, I never have. I still am looking for it, believe it or not. And
well, you just found that one. I appreciate you trying to give it to me.
And then That was it.
Shows you what I thought of your
I know
gift.
it. Yes, indeed. Yeah.
But anyhow, so
Yes.
you've been coming for a long time, and so
True.
what'd you think this year? How you enjoying all
It's
that?
been a great experience and always a great year, and talent from all over the world, of course. And how many years for you has it been, Scott? It's been a long time.
You know, I've not actually tallied them up. The first time I came, I want to say was in the 80s, 87 maybe. And I'd gone over I was staying in a room with Rick Walker and his assistants when he was performing way back then. And then I went over to Bob Lund Museum. I didn't know anybody, and nobody knew me. And
we liked it back then.
I was really invisible. Yes. And so I had a video camera with me. It was one of those kind you kind of throw over your shoulder.
Right, sure.
You pop in the VHS and all that. And so I had recorded that, and I've got that online. So I've got that on one of the past podcasts I had done from here. But it also, when I was at the Marshall Museum of Magic, it was showing Bob Lund actually giving a tour.
Oh, yeah?
Of
he
that.
was still
And
alive back then.
Yeah, he was. And you could see some of the guys who were coming in, like Dana Daniels, when he was like almost in high school, and some of these guys from the Long Beach Mystics who were there that particular year then too. But every year we have somebody great, just like Lance Burton, friends that came and opened up this convention this year. I mean,
with friends like that, who needs enemas?
Enemas?
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, you've had a few.
That's true. Friends, you mean? Are you kidding? I got friends I haven't used yet. Exactly.
Well, they're coming. They're coming. So what's been one of your favorite magic moments so far of this convention?
Let me see here. There was some great moments already. I mean, the moment I drove into town was great. Mm-hmm. There was like a marching band that greeted me when I came in.
Oh, that was for you, wasn't it?
Ticker tape.
That's right.
Yeah, ticker tape.
Yeah, that was the Amish.
You can't even get ticker tapes anymore.
Well, it was the Amish parade. Wasn't that the one that had the
those.
horses and everything?
Yep. And let me see. Other than that, and then there
going
was
out of the cemetery where you had found the dog poop.
Oh,
on your
somebody desecrated my cemetery site. But Hobson's lecture was fun today. It was a lot of fun.
Wasn't that good? You know, I always think I've got enough stuff until I see Jeff.
I know it.
And darn it, that guy.
Next thing you know, you're giving him $100 for something.
That's right.
Yeah.
That
150
shot
in my
glass
case.
egg bag thing.
Yeah, I got one of those
is
today.
a classic.
Yeah, I know it. Well, I'll use it at the bar, I'm sure.
Well, of course. I mean, that is perfect. You only got one. You need a backup.
I should have got two, yeah.
Yeah, I actually bought two.
I'm going to wait for one show up on eBay for half price.
That's going to be twice the price.
That's a problem. I asked Hobson, I said, hey, what's my cost? He said, double. So
because
I went back to Mike Mode because it was single.
Because you'll use it.
Yeah, I know it now.
That's what some guys say. I don't mind selling it, but I don't know if I want to sell it to that guy because he's actually going to perform it.
I know it, yes. That's all right.
But, that's such a clever idea.
Jeff needs the money, obviously.
He's not doing well.
No.
Yeah, he could use that.
Have you seen his outfits? Come on.
They're not quite sparkly as they used to be.
No.
I think he's lost a little bit of his shine.
Well, the price of sparkles these days, Yeah,
rhinestones are getting,
exactly,
he used to use Swarovski.
I know it,
Yeah, now I think he just goes to Hobby Lobby and gets one of those press-on things,
Straight to the Crystals Are Us.
Yeah.
Which is in Sturgis.
They're
open Wednesday through Sunday, 5 o'clock.
You're getting paid for this commercial, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
I don't get anything out of that.
You might get something out of it.
Well,
some crystals. All right. So there you
possibly
go.
so.
Yeah.
That reminds me one time I was with Don Weiberg and we were at a flea market and we went to one of these places where this lady was selling all these crystals and things, and saying, this thing does this and this helps with your health or your arthritis, et cetera, et cetera. And he was set up for a haunted key, that is one of these ones that was not Richard Osman. It was, anyhow, he's got the rubber band under his ring or whatever. So he puts the key in his hand and he said, and so he holds it, he picks up one of them. And he starts talking to this lady, and the key visibly moves, it rotates in his fist. And so then, as he does, then he hands it out to her, and he just looks at her, and the lady says, yeah, that's what it's supposed to do. Very matter-of-factly, like, yeah, no big deal. Yeah, that's going to be $35.
Yeah. That's the magic of keys. Crystals.
Yeah. But anyhow, this has been a great convention.
Oh, for
sure. A
lot
of fun.
Yep.
And a lot of things that are going to be going on.
What's your next step, Scott? You go all over the world.
I'm going to Magic Live.
Of course.
Are you going this year?
I'm not. No.
You've been in the past a few times.
I've been once, actually. Only once.
Just once.
Yeah.
Well, you're one of the hardest working men in show business here.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. So yes, people need
Joey Cranford
starved.
doesn't let you get
Exactly,
away.
they are
Nobody can
starved for
replace you.
entertainment. Yeah, Joy will be at Magic Life, so make sure
I know
you
Joey
talk
will,
to Joey. Yeah,
because he's out looking for more
exactly.
talent to come and work.
Exactly. Yes. And Ben Barnes will be there too. So.
Yep. He's entertainment director.
So if you want to work, don't talk to Ben because he's very busy. That's what I would recommend.
He's the guy, though.
Well, don't tell everybody.
Okay. So he's not the guy.
Good thing nobody listens to this, so they're not going to know. No,
they won't know. It'll be.
You have I'm just kidding. You've got tens of listeners, right?
Well,
tens of subscribers.
You're giving me the benefit of the doubt over here. But listen,
right.
thank you for loving me. Thanks for listening.
And we'll see you again.
And good luck with all your endeavors, whatever those endeavors might happen to be.
I don't know what's going to happen next. We get a pizza.
Are you going over to 4-star or 5-star?
No, I don't care. I'm going to go to 6-star.
Yeah, you're going to go all the way. Magic Word Podcast.
Thanks,
Jeff Bibik, that was him. Scotty out.